Imagine for a moment that the Quran is not simply a book of guidance resting on a shelf, but a living voice speaking directly to you, here and now. Every word, every phrase carries a rhythm that stirs the soul and opens hidden chambers of awareness within. When Allah addresses the children of Israel in Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 42 and 43, He is not only speaking to a community of the past, He is addressing you, me, all of humanity, reminding us of a timeless principle. Do not wrap truth in veils of falsehood. Do not turn away when you know the light, and do not reduce worship to mere ritual when its essence is meant to transform your being. Let us move phrase by phrase, feeling the weight of every word, letting it echo inside us until it stirs sensations in our very bodies. Verse 42. And do not cover the truth with falsehood. The Quran begins with a piercing command. Do not cover. Covering is an act of concealment. Imagine a lamp glowing in the dark, yet you throw a cloth over it. The room falls into shadow, not because the lamp ceased to shine, but because you chose to smother its light. This is what it means to cover the truth. The truth is radiant, self-evident, like the sun. Falsehood has no light of its own. It is simply the veil, the curtain, the shadow that blocks clarity. And so Allah warns, do not mix the two. Do not paint the pure with the colors of corruption. Do not twist what is straight until it appears crooked. In our lives, how often do we blur lines, bending honesty for convenience, reshaping reality to suit desire? This verse calls us out of that fog. It is a mirror placed before our hearts. Nor hide the truth. There is a difference between covering truth with falsehood and hiding truth altogether. Covering distorts, hiding silences. Imagine a witness in court who knows the reality of a case, but chooses to remain silent. Justice is lost not because the truth does not exist, but because it was buried. Allah speaks to the children of Israel for concealing the final prophet's coming despite recognizing the signs. But He also speaks to each one of us. How many times have we known what is right yet buried it under silence, fear, or pride? This phrase pierces deeper than history. It reaches the tender core of conscience. While you know, here lies the most severe wound, to know and yet to deny. Ignorance has an excuse. Knowledge does not. To know the truth, to feel it in your bones and still to twist, cover, or conceal it, that is betrayal not only of God, but of your own soul. There is no torment heavier than betraying what you already know is light. Allah emphasizes, while you know. This phrase should echo in our chest like a heartbeat. We know, yet do we act? We know, yet do we admit? We know, yet do we live by it? The verse moves from distortion to concealment, to the unforgivable weight of hypocrisy, knowledge that remains chained instead of set free. Verse 43, and establish prayer. After addressing truth and falsehood, the Quran turns to action, the living embodiment of truth. Establish prayer. Notice Allah does not say merely pray, He says establish. Establishment implies foundation, permanence, erecting something upright that stands firm against time. Prayer is not a passing whisper, it is a structure in the soul. To establish prayer means to root it in your life until it becomes unshakable. It is not only movement of the limbs, but anchoring of the heart. Imagine prayer as a pillar erected inside your being. Everything else in your life leans upon it. Prayer is the antidote to covering truth. For how can one stand sincerely before Allah and yet continue to veil His reality? Prayer cleanses the dust of falsehood and reawakens the inner witness. And give the zakat. The verse then binds worship with social responsibility. Zakat, purifying almsgiving, is not simply charity. The word itself means purification. To give zakat is to cleanse wealth from the dust of greed and the ego's clutches. Just as prayer connects you vertically with your Creator, zakat connects you horizontally with creation. Together, they form the axis of balance. Between heaven and earth, between inward and outward, between self and society. Without zakat, prayer risks becoming self-centered. Without prayer, Zakat risks becoming mere social transaction. Together, they purify both soul and society. And bow with those who bow. Finally, Allah calls towards unity. Bowing alone can become arrogance, thinking you alone know God. But to bow with those who bow is to merge into the community of the faithful, to dissolve pride into collective submission. It is not only a command to pray, but to join the ranks of those surrendered, to humble the self within the ocean of believers. Notice the tenderness with those who bow. It is an invitation to join a stream already flowing. Spirituality is not isolation, it is communion. Bowing here is not just a physical act, but a symbol of surrender, of bending the stiff neck of ego until it learns humility. Weaving it together, the spiritual current. These two verses flow like a river, from inner integrity to outward practice, from truthfulness of the tongue and heart to embodiment in ritual and charity, and finally to community. First, Allah commands, do not veil the truth. Second, He commands, establish prayer, purify your giving, and join the bowed. The path is holistic. Thought, action, society. A believer is not fragmented. A believer is whole. The warning is sharp, but the mercy is deeper still. For in every phrase is a way back to Him. Remove the veil, uncover the truth. Let knowledge blossom into practice. Let prayer root you. Let zakat cleanse you. And let community humble you. Final reflections. My dear listener, pause and feel the sensation in your chest at this moment. These verses are not relics of an ancient dispute with a lost community. They are living rivers flowing into your heart right now. Ask yourself, where in my life have I wrapped truth with excuses? Where have I hidden what I knew deep down to be right? And how can I reestablish prayer as the foundation of my being, give of my wealth to cleanse my heart, and bow in humility with the seekers of God? Let these words move you not just in thought, but in action. If you have been delaying your prayer, rise and establish it now. If you have been hoarding, give for His sake today. If pride has kept you apart, join the bowed in humility. Do not wait for tomorrow. The Quran is speaking to you in this very moment, calling you out of concealment into clarity, out of ritual into essence, out of isolation into community. This is not just recitation, it is invitation. Answer it. Let your heart bow. Let your soul shine. Let your life itself become a prayer. Surah Al-Baqarah 42-43 is more than history, more than command. It is the very pulse of divine wisdom, truth unhidden, prayer established, wealth purified, community embraced. Live these words and you live light itself.